Okay, so it means each and every subject, each and every visit values we will get, if you can see here. Okay, so now we can, okay, so but here is the data is very big. Okay, so data is very big. If we draw the multiple linear model, it will be clumsy. So that's why we are taking only the just some 41 records. It means n underscore n. This is your understanding purpose. I will wrote like this, but generally it's not really required. Okay, if you can restrict the data. So if you can restrict the data, what is the main sub? Okay, so we have only the 41 records. For basically here we have the 3-4 subjects data. Okay, so now the same program, same linear model we can use. Okay, so the SG plot. Okay, if you can see the series y axis is the visit, and then the x-axis is the visit, and the y-axis is the your particular mean value of temperature. And then here what we are saying, the group by subject ID. It means all the subject, the particular subject values, it will be grouped by the subject value. So if you can see the figure, you can understand. If you can see. So here we have the how many subjects? Okay, 4 and then 16 subject, like it's okay. So the each and every subject will have the different. The first subject will be the purple color. Okay, so where is the purple color? I guess this one. This one, not this one. But anyway, so the each and every subject, the graph, how it looks like. For example, if you can see this, easily we can identify the pink. Okay, so this is the 009 subject. It starts from the visit 1, some around 36.9 something. Again, when it comes to the visit 3, it drastically down here until the 36.25. Okay, and then again went up, again down, and then here. So it means the multiple linears, we are checking the multiple linears. Okay, so the subject wise we have draw the line. Okay, is that clear? Arjamain under? Okay, great. So then we'll say check the another example. For example, this is the same IDVS. We are taking the subject wise. Okay, so the same thing we are taking for the subjected and parameter visit, and then again the same value. So here we are taking the lower is equal to mean minus SD, and then upper is equal to mean plus SD. This is the values we are getting. So for example, so what is this mean sub only? Okay, so if you can see the lower value, okay, so SD is the 0.4, okay, so the lower minus the 36.8 is the minus 0.4. How much? The lower value is 36.3. 8 minus 4 equal to 3, right? Not 3. Okay, here the 3.7, it's rounded off. Okay, so 3.7 something. Okay, but here the mean value we don't have the decimal places, but when we take the 0.4 exactly minus, this is the value. So again mean minus what is that value? Mean plus SD. How much? For example, here if you can see this 36.8 plus 0.4, 37.22. Okay, so the lower and upper we have calculated. Then the same values, the lower and upper, we can use it here. Okay, so this is upper value and then group by subject, and this is the lower value. Yeah, if you can see this, okay, subject wise, okay, the same lower and upper value here only, plus and minus. Okay, so for example, it is clumsy. Okay, so here for the same subject wise, okay, we have taken the group by subject ID, and then lower value and upper value for the particular visit we are taking. Okay, so here values we are taking 3240 by 2. Okay, so this on the temperatures values. Okay, so that will looks like this, not this one. Where is that? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so just we have seen the I mean in the figures we will have the multiple type of figures, even though the piece of code. Okay, so the prop life test and then t-test. Okay, and then there are n number of procedure we can get the values for the particular figure representation. That what kind of figures we need to create, that will be clearly mentioned in the mock shells. Okay, their mock shells, below the mock shell the piece of code also will be provided by the statistician. Later we can, based on that particular piece of code, we can get it, and then later we'll write the proc report that will be looks like these figures. Okay, so yeah, that's it about the figures. I can see the figures are easy now. It will not take the much effort. Why? Because the main piece of code will be given by the statistician. Just we need to write the proc report kind of thing, and that would be done. Okay, so that's it for today. Is there any questions from anyone in the figures? No questions. Great. Is there any questions from anyone?
Sir, can you please explain day-to-day activity?
Okay. So the basically day-to-day activities. Okay. Whenever you have hired for the particular company and then particular team, so the team can work on the end-to-end activities, means from the SDTM, ADAM, TLFs and everything. So some teams only exclusively work for SDTM, some teams only exclusively work for the ADAM and TLF. But previously this was the scenario, but nowadays each and every, most of the 99% companies, the same teams working in the end-to-end from the SDTM to ADAM, TLF. Okay, so when it comes to the your experience level programming team, for example 3 years, 4 years experience guys, okay, they are mainly involved into the programming only. It means they might not involve in the spec writing, ACRF annotations, okay, and then mock shells annotations. These are the things. Okay, next SDRG, ADRG, define.xml creation even. But this is not expected. But I'm not saying that no one is going to do it. It depends on the team, your company and all these things. Sometimes these all are activities came 2-3 years guy also can be done. It depends. Okay, so the mainly day-to-day activities whenever you are in the one of the particular study, then create the specification. Okay, but not only the lead programmer, sometimes what happens, okay, lead programmer can ask that, okay, so I will create these many domains, the complex domains. Okay, they can distribute some of the domains for you as well. So that's why you can also will have the hands-on. But again, if you don't have the hands-on experience, you can say that, okay, so that I have never created the specification, something like they will reassign to another person. So for the experience, it's not really mandated whether you have the experience to create the specification or not. Sometimes 2 years programmer can create the specification. It depends on your talent. That's it. Okay. So there is no boundary line to these many years guy can do this work and these many years guy cannot do this work. It's up to you. Is there any other questions from anyone? Okay, so if no questions, okay, technically this is the last class for your, okay, for your batch. But however, what I said in the previously, you take 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, so you prepare from the SDTM, ADAM, TLFs and everything. Okay, so you can jot down all your doubts. Whatever the doubts you have, everything you can jot down, each and every person I'm saying. So you all among you can discuss, and then once you ready with your questions, once you ready with your doubts, and then inform to Narasimha Reddy, so he will communicate with me. So that particular week I can take the 1 or 2 classes for your question and answer sessions. Okay, so once that 2 sessions is done, the question and answer sessions, I will give 1 more week for you all preparation and all this thing, and then come up with the next week, next to next week, that particular week, and then again we can discuss about the interview related questions, how you can prepare for the interview, how you can attend the interview, and then the CV writing and all these things, how we can create a CV, and in the interview how you need to face the what you can answer, what you cannot answer, so that we can discuss. Okay, so the first you need to prepare and then come up with the questions. Once we clear up the question, then we'll move to the interview related part. So the daily report work is no need to report anyone. We have the status trackers. Okay, so there you have to update the how much you have completed in the tracker. So anyway, we have the every week meeting, right? Steam meeting. So there we can obviously need to explain to the status to the lead programmer. But anyway, the point of contact is the lead programmer for each and every study. So whatever you have, the questions or consults, anything, you need to connect with the lead programmer. Okay. Okay, so is there any questions so far? SDTM, and TLF, then you can say that I'm working end-to-end activities from the last 4 years, you can say. It depends up to you, how you can manage. For example, నేను చెప్పిన in 4 years లో 3 years యాడమ్ చేసిన అని చెప్తే నువ్వు ఇంటర్వ్యూ చెప్పలేకపోతే ఇట్స్ నెగటివ్ ఫర్ యూ. ఓకే.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Okay then.